In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the new Jarhead Wireless Light Gun that's going to be coming to Kickstarter soon. This seems like it would be the perfect accessory for any home arcade or retro gamer, but will some fatal flaws make this a product you guys should stay away from? Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Michael B, and in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the Jarhead Wireless Light Gun and game setup box alarm clock, which we'll get into in a little bit. I want to say a huge thank you to Greenberg Limited for sending me out the Jarhead Light Gun for the purpose of this review. So let's take a look at this brand new wireless light gun, see how it works, and is it an awesome accessory to add to any retro game, setup, or home arcade. So guys, here we have the Jarhead Light Gun and alarm clock console. We're going to get into that in just a minute. The packaging is actually really nice, including this really cool skull logo that they have on the box. So I want to tell you guys about how well everything's packaged. Everything comes together very nice. There's foam packaging everywhere. Everything's wrapped up individually. And here's everything that's included in the box. First up, we're going to get our power cable, which is nice. It's not a USB-C without a block. It's an actual power cable. Then, unfortunately, we have these AR sensors, which I don't really like with light guns. Next up, we have the actual console itself, the Jarhead console. Like I said, it's an alarm clock. You guys can see on the front, there's two USB inputs, a couple buttons to help set up the clock if that's something that's important to you. On the back, you're going to get your HDMI out. You're also going to get your USB for the AR sensors and your power cable. And that is the Jarhead alarm clock console box. So next up, we have the Jarhead Light Gun itself. I've got to say, the gun itself has a pretty decent weight to it. Trigger feels good. There's your on-off switch. There's how you're going to turn on your force feedback. There on the other side, you've got a bunch of buttons. There on the back, you've got a very questionable analog stick that's very loose. We'll get into that a bit more. The buttons all feel pretty good. Lots of buttons, lots of options. Yeah, there's your Jarhead Light Gun. So let's get this thing connected now. First off, you're going to plug in your power cable. Next up, you're going to plug in your HDMI cable. There you can see the clock on the front. You can set the time if you want. I don't know why you would want it. Very weird that this is also a clock. Then you're going to actually plug in your included USB-C cable that you're going to use to charge the actual light gun. Now, the light gun itself has a charging port directly on the front of the gun, which seems like a very odd place for a charging port, and you're really too close to the TV to use it with the gun. I'm sure that's their mindset, but what an odd place to actually charge up your light gun. Next up, you're going to set up your AR sensors. Now, I don't personally like these, but one thing I do like is there's actual settings on screen to show you exactly where on the top of your monitor to place the AR sensors, which I think is a beautiful touch to get the absolute best responsiveness. Then from there, you're going to plug the USB cable into the back of your console, and everything is pretty much set up for you to get going with your guns. Like I said, the AR sensors, there's a line right there on the screen. It's probably one of the easiest times I ever had setting up an AR sensor because of this. Now, this is a wireless light gun. You're going to have a USB-C dongle. I couldn't find it at first. It was nowhere in the box, but it is in the butt of your gun. You're going to take the bottom off, plug in your USB-C dongle, and everything's pre-configured so you can just get away to shooting. Now, like I mentioned, there is an analog stick on the back of the gun, which is pretty weird, but it actually works really well in implementation. Now, the first thing you're going to want to do when you set your console up is log into your Wi-Fi network. So first off, you log into your Wi-Fi, pick the right one, enter your input, and you're off to go. Once I had my games up, I did notice I was having some trouble with accuracy on the gun, and I couldn't understand exactly why that was happening. I couldn't seem to hit the target here on Time Crisis. It turns out that you actually can't use the gun too close to your TV. You will find on top of the gun a little tiny light button, which is actually a sensor that tells you when you're far enough away from the TV in order for the gun to actually work. Now I was hoping to use this with my MichaelBtheGameGenie. Unfortunately, with the 55-inch TV, I had to get so far back that I was pretty much hanging out the door and had an arm around my PC in order to get the actual gun to register the correct way. So while this is an amazing piece of technology, a wireless light gun, I do have to use it a little bit further away from the TV than I would like. Now, once I got to the correct distance, it was working very, very well. I had no problem moving the cursor to where I wanted to shoot. The response time was really good, and I was having fun with the included games on the actual device. First up is, of course, Alien 3 the gun, and like I said, everything was working really well here. I was having an absolute blast playing, but you will notice something that actually bothered me right out of the box. This console actually outputs in stretched display, so it doesn't output in the native 4:3 display that it's supposed to be showing in. It actually outputs to 16.9 or 16:9, and I couldn't figure out how to turn that off. So another strike for me against this product. So I've got to say, with those two setbacks, the fact that obviously it doesn't work in the space that I had planned for it, where I wanted to use this with my MichaelBtheGameGenie as my gun option, and the fact that it does stretch the picture out to 16:9, and there doesn't seem to be a setting to make it force it back into 4:3, maybe this product just isn't for me. But if you guys are looking for more coverage and you're okay with having to stand really far back from your TV, don't worry fam, I've got you covered. So our good friend Doug Cool Toy actually received one of these guns as well, and he has a much bigger space where he was setting this up and tested it. So he actually has a 43-inch screen there, and he said the perfect distance was about 8 feet away for you to actually use the light gun. And if you want to, I'll leave a link in the description below for his video. You can check out him playing some Duck Hunt here and other games showcasing the gun at the appropriate distance. Now, the Jarhead Light Gun was supposed to be available on Kickstarter, but unfortunately, with everything that's going on in the world right now, with the tariffs and the uncertainty of costs, the project has been slightly delayed. But I'll give you an update when the Kickstarter actually goes live if you're interested in picking up the Jarhead Wireless Light Gun and console box. So anyways, guys, that's my quick look at the Jarhead Wireless Light Gun. I think this is an amazing concept, what they're doing here. The first wireless light gun that I can think of. It works extremely well for people that are comfortable with standing a certain distance away from your screen. Of course, the smaller the screen, the less of the distance you have to go back. But for me personally, I was hoping to use this with MichaelBtheGameGenie. Plus, I don't want to be too far back with a gun. I don't think necessarily this product is for me, but it might be something you guys would be interested in. Let me know in the comments down below, what do you think of the Jarhead Wireless Light Gun? Is this a product you could possibly be interested in? If you're a light gun aficionado, is this something that seems really cool to you? The fact that there is a Bluetooth dongled light gun out there right now that we haven't seen before, this is something that's very cool, very interesting. Not for me, but let me know if it's for you. Once again, thank you so much, everybody, for watching. This is MichaelBtheGameGenie. I'll talk to you next time.